This is the Johnny Cleveland Podcast, all things Cleveland sports, with your host, John Suchan. Isn't that ditty? Woo! And we have dogs barking. Welcome to the Johnny Cleveland Special Edition Podcast. Yes, if you are watching this on YouTube, on the X, Twitter, you see a whole bunch of people on there that like, who the hell are these people? Well, let me introduce you to the one and only Alec the Malik Suchan up there, my son, up there on the right-hand side. Hello, Alec. And then down below, we've got Adish, we've got Matt, and we've got Mo Money, Mariah. I happen to be related to her. And
unfortunately.
And Mariah is dressed for the occasion. We are the Fanatical Elves Network, and this is our Johnny Cleveland Podcast. And Mariah is dressing very appropriately. Apparently, she's wearing an orange, like for the Cleveland Browns. What is that, a bike helmet? Is that a bike helmet? A climbing helmet. So Mariah, Matt, and Adish, hello Adish, are out there in Seattle. And we got Alec up there in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we are going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns season ahead. We're going to have our predictions. We've done this before on this Johnny Cleveland podcast in years past, and we've had a lot of fun with it. So these guys are ready to give us their predictions, their unusual predictions. I think we even have a dog. We have Whitman in-house. So we are bringing our dog here. We're part of the Fanatical Elves and the Dog Pound. Yeah. So Alec, how's it going up there? Let's just talk a little bit. You know, how's your Sunday going? You ready for next? Yeah.
Getting ready for football. Got those fantasy football drafts going all week. Been obsessed over those.
We got one tonight, don't we? We got one at 8 o'clock. Yeah. By the way, Mariah and Matt and Adish, we got one at 8 o'clock. If you didn't know, you better get online in about 2 hours. Alec, have you played any more soccer games?
Not in like about a week or so, but got a big one coming up next week. Going up to the first place team. If we beat them, we could take first place.
Excellent. And Alec, you've been doing that's awesome. I love it. We've got just a lot going on coming up this week. So down below, we've got there Mariah, Matt, and Adish. They're out there in Seattle. And if you've listened to our podcast in the past, we've done some shows with them. Mariah and I did a show recently when I was out there when was that, July? We did a trip on the road and had a lot of fun with that. So Mariah and Matt and Adish and Alec have all claimed that they know nothing. Well, Alec, I won't say this, but Mariah has said that she claims that she knows nothing about football. Now, I want to give Mariah a little bit of credit here. She's given me the Joe Schmo. When I talk about Joe Burrow, that goes back to when Mariah introduced him as Joe Schmo a couple seasons ago, and so he is a character that Mariah created. So I want to give credit. Yes, he's a Cincinnati Bengal. So the Browns play this season against the Bengals or the Bungles in week 1. That starts next week on Sunday. It's a home game with the Cleveland Browns at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And I'd like to know your predictions. Alec, let's go with you first. What do you think's going to happen in that game 1?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to come down a little bit closer than people think. Bengals, I think, are overrated a little bit this year. Too much hype around Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. And I really like that the Browns haven't really been talked about a whole lot in the offseason. They're not the center of attention for once. And I think that's good for Deshaun Watson's situation.
Are they going to win it? You think they're going to pull it out?
I don't know. Probably a one-score game. Someone wins on a field goal.
So a win or a loss for the Browns? You got to give me a win or a loss.
I say we take the loss the first game.
Ooh, okay. Well,
we'll trade games with the Bengals on the year.
Okay, so we're going to steal one from them later on. But we'll get to that game here in a little bit. Well, that's good. Okay, so because the Browns traditionally have really sucked it up in week one. They don't traditionally win. Last year was the first time that they won a week one home or an away game in decades. Your prediction is not that off. I think there are a lot of Browns fans, that euphoria we have before the season starts when everybody thinks that we're going to go 17-0. You even said off air you thought they were going to go 0-17, but I don't think I heard that.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
All right, folks, over to Seattle, where we got Mo Money with her hiking mountain hat, keeping her brain protected from any serious injury. She claims to have smarts up there. So well, never mind. Okay. We need predictions from Matt and Mo Money and Adish on this week one game. What do you got going on there, Mariah?
Initially, I was going to say that the Browns were going to win, but Alex swayed me, so I'm going with a loss.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Matt and Adish, what do you got?
Browns win by 10.
Browns win by 10. Okay. Someone needs to be writing these predictions down because I don't have pen or paper with me. So somebody, you got it right up there.
Safe up here.
Helmet.
Okay. Adish, what do you got? So we got Matt's going with the Brownies in a 10-point win.
John, to be honest, I know nothing about football. The football I know about is called soccer here. But I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Browns by 3.
Browns by 3. I love it. Okay, well, I'm going to go with the Browns with the win against the Bengals. The Browns have traditionally done really well under Kevin Stefanski's watch against the Bengals. I think they're 5-1 overall against the Bengals. They only lost to the Bengals and Joe Burrow and Joe Schmo last year. So I do think the Browns are going to eke out. I agree with Alec. It's going to be a close one, probably lower scoring than most of us are anticipating. But I think the Browns will eke out that win. Okay, on to week 2. Week 2, the Browns go over to Pittsburgh, PA, and play the Steelers on Monday Night Football. Let's start with the crew in Seattle first. What are your game thoughts and predictions for the week 2 game Monday night against the Pittsburgh Squealers?
It's not looking good for the Browns on week 2. Historically playing at Pittsburgh, those Browns.
That's what I was going to say. Historically, the Browns
they suck.
And Steelers have, a big rivalry, but I feel like the Steelers often walk away with that win. And is this a game at the Steelers?
Yes, it's in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
That's going to be a tough one. So.
Yeah. What do you think, Adish?
Another L.
Another L. Okay.
I didn't know Pittsburgh had a team. But in light of that fact.
And we are part of the Fanatical Elves Network and Fans First Sports Network, which was started up by the Pittsburgh Steeler crew. So thank you to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, you do have a football team. Okay, Adish.
Steelers also sounds like a cool name, so I'm going to go with Steelers this time.
Oh, I like that. I think that's kind of some of Mariah's philosophy. Okay, week 3. Let's go back to week 3 now. I'm going to give you my prediction. I think the Browns do lose in that game. It's Monday night.
Really?
They're going to be wearing their alternate uniforms, but I just think that the spotlight and the pressure of trying to win in Pittsburgh will be too much for the Browns again. They did beat the Steelers in a postseason victory back in 2020, that game during the pandemic when they beat them handily. But it's going to be tough. When you go over and play in Pittsburgh, you could bring the guy that sells the hot dogs up in the stands, put him in a Pittsburgh Steeler uniform, and they'd still beat the Browns. So, I don't see the Browns winning. Okay, week 3. Week 3. I know I'm funny, aren't I? Week. Hold on a second. All right, week 3. I had it here. They go back home and they play the Carolina Panthers. Last year, the Browns played Carolina at Carolina and beat Baker Mayfield in Carolina. This year, Carolina comes back to Cleveland. No, I'm sorry. They don't. It's not Carolina. My apologies. It's the Tennessee Titans. I wanted to screw around in your heads and see if you were really paying attention. So
I was going with it.
I know the Browns come home and they play the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans come to Cleveland. Now, I will say that the last time Tennessee came to Cleveland was a couple seasons ago, and Tennessee crushed them. Derrick Henry ran wild, and Tennessee just blew them out. So it is a home game again for Cleveland. It is week 3. What are your thoughts, Alec?
Derrick Henry's getting old. This might be the year he finally drops off. And
Okay.
Other than that, Tennessee, new receiver, D-Hop, is going to have some learning pains going there.
Yeah.
And Ryan Tannehill hasn't looked great last year. So I think the Browns, as long as they can stop the run against Henry, they carry out a win here with like 1 touchdown.
Who's their quarterback? Who's going to be their quarterback this year?
Ryan Tannehill as of now, but
okay,
they got
but it could change.
2 young guys behind him ready to go.
Okay, yeah. Who are the 2 quarterbacks behind him? The kid that they Wiley,
Malik
Willis. That's right.
And then Will Levis from last year.
Oh, he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Oh, hey, did you see that mayonnaise contest they had yesterday? You know how they do like the hot dog contest and all that stuff? They had some contest on that's circulating on like ESPN where these guys were doing like they had to eat a huge tub of mayonnaise.
Oh,
like that was the contest. That's just disgusting. Speaking of what? All right, Seattle crew. What do you got? What do you got there? Tennessee Titans. What are you predicting?
Well,
Myles Garrett is gonna swallow Derrick Henry whole.
Myles Garrett.
Boy.
Down.
Wow, Matt with the bold prediction there. Okay, he's gonna swallow him up. Okay.
Browns by a landslide on this one.
Wow, I love it. Okay.
I also forgot about we have Zadarius Smith this year.
We do. Oh, and the Browns are rumored to be getting Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs potentially. That rumor's been circulating today.
Why?
That would be a hell of a defensive line. All right, Mariah, what do you got? Matt's going with the bold, big blowout for the Brownies.
Remember the Titans, baby. Titans for the win.
Ooh, that's clever. Ooh, throwing in the movie title. Denzel Washington's going to be leading the charge. Oh, me too. Yeah, if he's coaching, no way do the Browns win. No way. Adish, what do you got?
I agree with Matt. I think Browns have it.
I think
they are going to find a bit of rhythm by week 3.
Yes, we like rhythm. Yes, we like rhythm.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think I would.
What's that? Alexander O'Neal. Have you ever heard of Alexander O'Neal? He has a song called Rhythm. You should look it up sometime. Google it. Get on your what is it? The Apple the music search. Type in Alexander O'Neal. He's got a song called Rhythm. Okay.
All right.
So we'll add that to the list.
Oh boy. Okay, week 4. The Browns guess what? They get another home game against the Baltimore Ravens. The hated Baltimore Ravens. The Browns have had some success at home against the Ravens. They did beat the Ravens last year at home. What do you got, Mariah? You think they're going to win or lose?
The Ravens have been good the last few years, if I am correct.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
So, I don't think the Browns have won a game yet this season. Another L.
Another out. So you're going 0-4. Woo! 0-4. Well, you're not too far off. Believe me, I've thrown that idea out there to our fans.
With my expectations, but they might snag one of those 4 games.
Oh, they're gonna snag one. I like that. I like that take. They're gonna snag it.
I don't know
Matt?
who, it's a wild card.
Lamar Jackson's gonna run through that defense. That's a Ravens by a landslide here.
The Ravens win at okay. All right. Adish, what do you got?
I also didn't know Ravens existed.
You know why you didn't know they existed? Because they didn't exist until the Browns got moved to Baltimore and stolen by Art Modell. He took his team to Baltimore. They stole our team. The Ravens used to be what the Browns, they used to be the old Cleveland Browns. 1995, they were kidnapped, they were stolen, and they are now the Baltimore Ravens, which is why we Cleveland Browns fans hate the Baltimore Ravens. All right. So is that a loss?
No. I hope they take some of that and beat.
Take it personally.
Yeah. I hope
just
they
need
show
you.
that.
They got
Ron, they need you in the locker room
pitch.
before that game, giving.
I
that
know.
speech. And that will get them hype enough to
Win at all costs. Alec, Puma, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Ravens on this one, I think. It'll be early in the
Hey.
season. Ravens will still be healthy, I think.
That's a good take there. I like that. Yeah.
And I have bad memories from when Lamar left the game to go take a poop, came back and still beat the Browns. Like,
Wow.
I was at that game. That was the pandemic
I
year
was
the
there.
Browns lost. You were there with me.
yep, it was not.
We suffered. We struggled through the cold. It was minus 20,000 degrees below zero. It was windy. We were. It was a crazy game. It was entertaining for what it was worth. Browns did lose that game, but yes, that was a dramatic game because, as you said, Lamar Jackson went and took a break to go potty, and came back, and they still won. All right. Week 5, the Browns have a bye. That means they don't play. They're going to go take a vacation, so they can't lose in week 5. Week 6, the Browns, guess what? They have right, another home game. They will be playing the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers, yeah.
The 49ers, San Francisco's going to come across the country and play in Cleveland. You know, usually when West Coast teams come to the East Coast and the Midwest, it can be tough on them. But we want to know, what do you think is going to happen in that one? Alec, let's go with you first. By the way, I do think the Browns are going to beat Baltimore, if you wanted my prediction. Okay, Alec?
I feel like this could be the most ugly loss of the year. Francisco is stacked all around the board. And you said did we lose to Carolina last year when Christian McCaffrey was still there?
No,
okay,
we beat them.
Okay. But still, San Fran, very stacked. Don't know if we can handle everything they got.
Yeah. I agree. I think we're going to lose this game. You guys in Seattle, what do you think?
Yeah,
What do you got? What do you got? Matt, what do you got?
Yep, what Alex
What
said.
Alex said.
So we all think it's going to be a loss. So Mariah, your team's 0-5 now. At this point, Kevin Stefanski, Joe Schmo, no, not Joe Schmo, I call him Steady Eddie. I call Kevin Stefanski Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie is fired at this point if they go 0-5. Okay. What are we in? Week 7 now. Week 7, the Browns go to Indianapolis to drive in the Indianapolis 500 where they play the Colts and their new rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson, who I'm not quite sure how he got drafted so high. What are your thoughts in that game? Indianapolis Colts, let's go with Matt first. What do you got, Matt? Browns at Indy.
I think the Browns will squeeze this one out. It'll be tight, but they'll squeeze it out. Fourth quarter, they'll pull ahead and take the win. Okay,
Adish. The Indianapolis Colts. That's an NFL team. They have yeah. Okay.
It's a real toss-up for me. I know nothing about either of these teams, so I'm gonna go with Browns still.
I love it. Mariah, you're 0-5 right now. What do you got? Browns at Colts.
This is it. This is the turning point of the season.
Oh.
The Browns are going to sweep the Colts under the rug. And
sweep. I got that. Oh yeah, okay.
oh yeah, they're really gonna put the Colts to shame, and they're gonna get some confidence going into the next games, and I'm feeling good now as a fan.
I love it. Okay, so 1-5, you're feeling good now as a fan. Okay, got it. Alec, what do you got? What do you got?
I gotta go with Mo Money on this one. I think it's a solid win for them. They have no running back. They have no receivers. They have no quarterback. They're going to be in
Yeah.
trouble by week 5.
Okay, I got you. And I got a win here. It's going to be a close one. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring. I think the final score is going to be something like 9-6. But the Browns end up pulling it out somehow. Dustin Hopkins, their new kicker, is going to kick one at the Dome, and they're going to win that game. Okay, now on to week 8. Yes, that's right, folks. You guys in Seattle, the Browns travel out to Seattle to play the Seahawks, where Mo Money is going to be wearing her helmet when she goes to the game. The game is set for October 29th. The Browns are 1-4 over the last 25 or 30 years when they travel out to Seattle. They don't make it out there very often. What are your thoughts and predictions on this game? Mariah.
All my hope as a fan, back down the drain. The Seahawks are pretty good. Historically.
They also have a really good hot dog. They call it a Seattle dog. Matt, call it out. What's the Seattle dog? Tell us.
Cream cheese and fried onion on a hot dog.
No, it's just grilled onion. Fried is different.
Fried in a pan.
But if that hot dog seller got out on the field, it's the same scenario of the Steelers team.
You could put a Seattle dog in the Browns will still
Unfortunately, the stadium
Matt,
full out, and the Browns are going to crumble. They just can't handle it.
Yeah, I agree. I was considering coming out to Seattle, but knowing that I would have to travel 4 hours in a plane ride to see them lose, I just don't know if I want to do that.
We need to be more positive for our Brownies. We're here supporting them today.
I'll buy you a Seattle dog if you come out for the game. There you go.
Why didn't you buy me one before we travel on our trip to Europe later on in the spring? Okay, Adish, what do you got? Seattle.
My loyalty is with 2 teams, Seahawks and Bills. So this one I gotta go give it to the Seahawks.
He knows
all right.
team.
Alec, what do you got?
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Squeeze out the win.
Okay.
It'll be a closer one. But
yeah.
Home field advantage. Seahawks take it.
All right. Week 9, the Browns return home from that long trip. They play the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray will not be dressed up in an unusual outfit. He probably won't be playing. Josh Dobbs, who used to play for the Browns, who's a backup, will probably be the Cardinals quarterback at that point. What are your thoughts? Browns versus Arizona Cardinals back in Cleveland, week 9. What do you got, Alec?
If the Browns lose this one, our season's over probably. The Cardinals should be the worst team in the league this year. So should be an easy win, but you never know with the Browns.
No. Well, and the last time the Arizona Cardinals came to Cleveland, which was 2 seasons ago, the Cardinals crushed the Browns at home. It wasn't even close. Kyler Murray and that whole team, obviously the team has changed quite a bit, but I don't know. What do you got down there in Seattle? Matt, what do you got? Cardinals and Browns.
Oh, I think the Browns will win this. Yeah. Build some confidence rolling into the next week. And be looking good for the Browns.
Yeah, second win of the season for the Brownies.
Second win for the season. All right. Adish?
I agree. I think it's
okay.
I will add.
Yes, you will add. Yes, Al.
It would make sense for the Browns to lose to their backup quarterback that they traded in the offseason.
That would be
Dobbs.
Yes.
That would make sense.
It goes into the Browns script pretty well, so.
Okay. So now we're going to take a quick break, folks. We are halfway point of the season. We'll come back with the rest of our predictions. I did want to share out one thing before we go to the break. Are you guys football fans? Do you like football a little bit? Okay. Well, I got a special deal for you. Ready for this? Fans First Sports Network has a contest going on until tomorrow where you can sign up. Okay. And if you enter, you could win 4 free tickets to any game in the NFL in week 1 up to a $5,000 value. All you have to do is to go to contest.fansfirstsports.com. Contest.fansfirstsports.com. Enter, and you could win 4 free tickets. All right. Fans First is our podcasting platform. They're doing an awesome job. And then we're giving away 4 free tickets to any NFL game in week 1. That means if you're in Seattle or you're in Buffalo, if you're in San Francisco, if you enter this contest, enter this and you can win 4 free tickets. Go to contest at .fansfirstsports.com. Are you pulling it up there, Matt? Did you get it on your phone?
First, no, buy fans, for fans, no fees. So that's what I
Right.
like to hear.
Yes. All right, folks, we're going to break for a commercial. This is the Fanatical Elves Network. This is the Johnny Cleveland podcast. We have special guests today. We got my son, Alec, up there. We got my daughter, Mariah, with the orange hard hat. Matt, her boyfriend, and then a friend of theirs, Adish, all the way out there in Seattle, Washington. We'll be right back. We're going to go silent for 3 seconds. Enjoy these commercials. And we're back. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed those wonderful commercials. You know, they are actually commercials. So if you listen to this on the audio show, it's fantastic. So there are actually things, and people, real commercials with real things that people buy and sell. It's just a wonderful thing. Okay, so we're moving on. We've got the next. I'm pulling up this season record. The next couple games, the Browns are going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens again in Baltimore. So after their trip, they play the Cardinals at home. Then they go to Baltimore. How are we feeling about that next game against Baltimore? Alec?
I'm going to say at this point, Lamar's banged up. He's not playing. Browns come back, get their revenge from earlier in the season.
Oh, I like it. By the way, you got your cat back there. See your cat if you're watching this. Yeah, he's wanting to be in the podcast. We've got Rufus, our dog, down here. He's ready to eat dinner. It's about 6:30 Eastern time as we record this. Okay, up there in Seattle, what do you got? Browns going to Baltimore to play the Ravens, the team that stole the Browns back in 1995, Adish. Still pissed off about that. What do you got, Adish? What do you got? Baltimore Ravens. What?
The Browns.
Browns again.
Oh, I love it. Matt, what do you got?
Oh, I think this is part 2. Lamar's going to run through that defense again. The Browns
If he's
are gonna
healthy.
Go back to the drawing board, but it's not going to work. Lamar's going to torch that defense. He's going to punish that defense.
Mariah, what do you got?
I'm torn. I don't know. Could go either way.
Got to get a win or a loss here. What are we going with?
Go with the rare draw, the rare tie.
I'm going with the win.
The win. Okay. I would say that the Browns are going to lose this game. I don't see it happening. It's a tough place for them to win games in Baltimore. So despite Lamar Jackson maybe being out, I just don't see it. Okay. Next game, the Browns have a return visit from the Pittsburgh Steelers at a home game on November 19th. What are your thoughts on that one? Alec?
Oof. Feel like Kenny Pickett, Steelers get their stuff clicking by that time of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Browns have already lost some bad games. Morale's going down. Steelers win it again.
Okay. Mariah, what do you got?
That's what I was thinking. I hate to say it because we're not predicting a good outcome so far for the Browns, but
No.
I feel like the Steelers are going to win that home game for the Browns, and that'll be really demoralizing. So, the Browns.
I think Kevin Stefanski. Yeah.
Never know.
You never know. Matt, what do you got on that one?
I think the dog pound's going to be hopeful that, playing those Steelers at home, it'll give them that edge up. They can just squeeze this one by. But
I like it. Not going to amount to much. Okay, Adish.
I think it's a tough one for the Browns. Don't see it.
Don't see it though. Okay. By the way, they screwed this up at the stadium this year for the dog pound. You just spoke of too. The Browns are all about getting more money, and they put these exclusive, expensive seats for those fans that are really rich, and they put them all the way around the stadium, like on the perimeter. and in front of the dog pound. So you know how some of these players would score touchdowns and they would leap up into the stands?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Now it's
now they can't do that. They can't. The dog pound's still there, but there's rich fans that are going to be sitting 2 rows in front of them, which is just dumb, boneheaded, idiotic by the organization. Okay, I
with it.
I do think the Browns will get a win against the Steelers, and it's a home game as we get geared up toward Thanksgiving. Then the Browns go out to Mile High City. They go out and play the Denver Broncos in the Mile High City. Alec, we might remember this, when Alec was a young lad. He and I traveled. I think Alec was a 4th or 5th grade youngster, and we drove from Wichita, Kansas, out to Denver for a great weekend of football and fun. Alec had quite the experience. Would you like to share that experience when you went out to the Denver Bronco game?
Oh, I'd love to. Sat down about 5 minutes after the game started and get a beer right down my back. Some guy already 3 beers deep, just trying to take a seat again and ride all over me. Just spilled it. But
why did you enjoy the? Yes. Tell us why you enjoyed the moment.
Young 20-year-old woman, blonde, who was beautiful to my 5th grade self and treated me very nicely and was like, "Oh, you poor baby," and I was like, "Yes, hold me." So it was all right.
It was good. That was
You're bad. Not your last. Huh?
all right. You guys in Seattle, what do you got? Denver Broncos. At least John Elway's not playing with his buck teeth, his horse teeth.
The only thing that worries me with playing a game against the Broncos at their stadium is obviously the conditions of being up high. Never easy for the athletes ever, but I think that the Browns, matched up with the Broncos. The Browns can walk away with the win, so it comes down to the physical attributes here of who can breathe better.
Who can breathe better?
I'm going to give it to the
Let's just hope
Browns.
Okay, the Browns are going to win. Matt, Adish, what do we got in this one?
I think the Browns will win it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
That's all. Adish?
This here. Browns.
Okay, all right. So the Browns then will stay out there in California after the game. What?
Do you think that the Browns will win against the Broncos?
They did beat them 2 years ago out in Denver, and I think that they will beat them again. I don't think Denver's got a real solid team, though I will say they have a new coach, Sean Payton, who used to be the coach of the New Orleans Saints for years, and he tends to be a very good coach. And by that point in the season, and if Denver has any sort of, efforts left to try to get to a playoff or postseason berth, it could be a tight one. It'll really depend on how the Browns are doing at that point of the year. Mariah, you think that the team's going to really be terrible at that point of the year. So I would say they probably lose that one, but I'm going to say the Browns are still going to be in postseason contention and they will pull off the win. All right. They're going to stay out there in Seattle or in Denver area. They're going to go out to California because then they play the Los Angeles Rams out there in California the following week. What do you got there? That's last time the Browns went out to California was 2 years ago. They played a really competitive game. Baker Mayfield was the quarterback, but their defense kind of blew it, and they gave up a lot of big plays. Sean McVay is the head coach there. I don't know if they have quite the talent, obviously, that they did a couple of years ago. So I would say the Browns still have I'm going to give them the win in this game. What do you got down there in Seattle?
Well, Matt loves the Rams.
I gotta stay loyal to the Rams. That's my hometown, my Pee-wee Pop Warner football. We had the Rams swirl, the blue and gold. That's my day one. Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Marshall Falk. Oh, I'm going Rams.
Look at you running down all these old school players. Wow.
Rams all day.
I like it. Do you remember when Eric Dickerson used to play for the Rams?
Oh, yeah, the old goggles. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, classic. Adish and Mariah, what do you got?
I got to go with the Browns.
Oh, I like it.
No special feelings for the Rams.
The Browns are gonna lose to the Rams.
Alec, what do you got?
I agree with you, Johnny Cleveland. I think they're losing their talent slowly, and I think really it depends on their health. And even if they are a full healthy team, I still think the Browns are the better team. So should be a win for the Browns.
Okay, so now we get toward the last few games of the season. They come back and they play the Jacksonville Jaguars in a home game. Okay, they played Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars in a late game in the season. A team from Florida coming in there. It's going to be, we're looking at December now, the heart of winter. It's getting into winter time. The Browns will have a visit from the Jacksonville Jaguars, who they've traditionally played pretty well against. However, Jacksonville has been winning. They came on strong at the end of last season. I think they'll do well this year. California Sunshine Boy, Trevor Lawrence with his flowing Goldilocks. Mike. So I think the Browns are going to lose this game. I see this as a home loss for the Browns. I just think the Jacksonville's a better team. That's one thing I was just going to mention overall, and I've said this on many of my other shows with the Fanatical Elves. The Browns have been sub 500 the last 2 years. They were 8-9 2 years ago and 7-10 last year. And there's all this hype right now that, oh God, the team's going to be different. And they got all this new talent. They really don't. And even though I'm writing an article for Dog Pound Daily about how, we've got Nick Chubb, the running back, and we have Deshaun Watson. But even with those two guys doing their very best, when they've done their very best, that doesn't always compute to the Browns winning games. Nick Chubb's had some great seasons, but the team still loses. Deshaun Watson had his best season statistically, again, when he played for the Houston Texans, and his team sucked. They went 4-12. So I think there's a lot. I think Mariah and what you guys are predicting there with a lot of these losses, I think that's more closer to what could really happen. And I think we need to be realists. And I think at least you who are out there in Seattle, who don't follow the team, are more realistic sometimes than us crazy Browns fans. All right. Just that's a little opinion there. So Jacksonville, let's get your final thoughts here on Jacksonville. We're almost at the end of the season. Mariah, Matt, Adish.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville.
Okay. Mariah, You're not falling asleep out there. Sleepless in Seattle.
No, I'm contemplating.
I know you're thinking
I don't know how to call this one either. So, I'm going to go Jaguars. And another loss for the Browns. I think we maybe won 3 or 4 games this year.
I think that's about 3 wins, maybe. Yeah, bad year. Matt?
Sorry.
The Browns need a bigger overhaul.
No.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I think Myles Garrett is going to take that pretty boy. Has sweet blue eyes and long flowing hair, and he's going to break them like a twig. I think Browns are going to win.
Oh.
Wow.
Great.
Going against the...
Okay, next week, guess who comes to Cleveland? They get another back-to-back home game. Justin Fields, former Ohio State Buckeye, with the Chicago Bears, comes to Cleveland. The Bears. The last time the Bears came to Cleveland, Myles Garrett, your favorite player there, Matt, introduced. Exactly. He got 4.5 sacks on Justin Field. It was a tremendous personal effort by Myles Garrett. Can Myles Garrett do it again? I think he will. I think the Browns rise up. I think this is going to be a good game for the Browns. It's going to be, they're going to, I see them winning against Jacksonville. Did I say they were going to win or did I say they were going to lose? I can't.
Said they were going to lose to Jacksonville.
I did say they were going to lose. Okay, so they'll bounce back in this one, and they will beat the Bears, and Myles Garrett will have maybe not 4.5 sacks, maybe 2 or 3, but he'll remind Justin Fields that he still sucks. Alec, what do you got?
Yeah, I like Matt's idea about these pass rushers. Justin Fields, most sacked quarterback last year. Probably going to be most sacked quarterback this year. So,
yeah,
I give the Browns this easy win.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen out there in Seattle, what do you got? Win, loss.
Bears losing, Browns winning, I didn't even know that the Chicago Bears were still an NFL team. So they're all
They're like
retired
one of the
now.
longest based franchises in NFL history. At least it's not the Cocaine Bear. My God, I started watching that movie the other day. I had to turn it off. That was so bad. That movie. Have you seen that one on net? The one that came
Couldn't even
out called.
turn it on. John.
Oh,
I've
don't.
heard a lot on it though. It's actually a true story, but
Well, it's a true story, but
wild.
that part in the middle where
Yeah.
that starts getting really like bad, where the people start getting hurt and more than hurt, I was like, this is too much. So anyway, okay. Next game, the Browns then traveled to Houston to play the Texans. That's Deshaun Watson old team. Last year, the Browns went to Houston and won that game. Are they going to do it again, Alec? Are they going to beat Houston?
We said Houston.
Yes, Houston.
Yeah,
Houston.
should be
Houston, we have a problem.
should be another good win. I think C.J. Stroud is going to be the worst of all the rookie quarterbacks this year.
Okay.
The Texans were horrid against the run last year, and if we are going to just let Chubb run free this year, it should be.
I'm so pumped about Nick Chubb this year. I'm telling you, I think he could close in close to 2,000 yards. I know I'm crazy when I say that, but this guy is a future Hall of Famer, and he's closing in. He could overtake the number 2 spot on the all-time greats behind Jim Brown in Cleveland Browns running back history, and he's halfway there to Jim Brown's record. And if he can get another 4 or 5 seasons, I'm telling you, it could be spectacular. All right, I do look for the Browns to beat the Texans as well. What do you guys think there in Seattle?
I see Browns by a touchdown.
I like it. Mariah.
Browns for the win.
Nice. Okay, Matt.
I'll go with the crowd here. Nick's gonna have a great game. You know, might get 2 TDs. We'll see.
Nice. Okay. All right. Getting close in on right at the end of the season. We have a Thursday night game. The old wretched Aaron Rodgers, if he's still alive and healthy, will be coming to Cleveland to play in a Thursday night game in cold Cleveland. It'll be the dead of winter, December 28th.
They used to that in Green Bay, though.
Oh, look at you with the hot take. Look at you with the hot take. Wow. That came out of left field. Wow, Mariah. See, you underestimate your power of football knowledge.
Also, Aaron Rodgers is great. Like, if he comes out and has a mediocre day, like, the Browns are gonna lose still.
You think they're gonna lose to the Jets? Well, okay.
Oh, yeah, they did.
No.
They lost to the Jets last year.
They did lose to the Jets. And Alec, remind us how they lost to the Jets last year.
They were up 15 points with a minute and a half left in the game, and they somehow still blew it.
That's the most embarrassing loss. So I will say the Browns are going to crush the Jets because of that moment in time. I think Cleveland will remember that game, and I think that they were embarrassed and ashamed. And if Kevin Stefanski is still the Browns coach at this part of the season, which he could be fired at this point, based on Mariah's predictions.
He was fired 5 games ago.
Yeah, he was fired 5.5 games ago. Well, he's still in his basement watching the games. It's like the pandemic year when he used to watch the games from his basement. You know, when the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in that postseason game, Kevin Stefanski was in his basement because there was COVID going on in his family, so he had to stay away from.
Game?
No, he wasn't, and the Browns won. So, Alec, what do you got? What do you got? Or Matt, did I give you a predict? Matt and Adish, what did you guys come up with on that game?
Doing that discount, double checking over his shoulders, he'll have that defensive end come rushing down on him. It's the Browns for this one.
But he's used to that because he's old.
Huh?
Adish, what do you got? Jets, Browns.
Browns.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Alec.
I'm pretty sure the Jets have a weak O-line. That's their weak point of their team right now. And Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith could absolutely give Aaron Rodgers the hell of a night. Like
Myles Garrett could be building another grave site on his Halloween front yard. He puts together all the quarterbacks that he's annihilated over the years, and he could be digging. Morbid? Was that morbid? Okay. No, okay. The last game of the season, the Browns have an away game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Joe
Cincinnati.
Schmo, boo.
Boo.
Cincinnati.
So that's a win or a loss, Mariah.
Bagels.
Win or a loss?
Oh, definitely a loss for the Cincinnati Bagels.
Oh, okay. Adish.
Yeah, that's it.
Adish.
I think Browns are gonna win this. Yeah.
I like it. Matt, last game of the season for the Browns.
Browns will be feeling warm and fuzzy after eating that Cincinnati chili. They'll get a nice win.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Alec. I love it. Alec.
Browns. This is that game they trade. They come back. It's a shootout. They win.
Nice. All right. So with all those predictions, I don't know if any of us are predicting that the Browns are going to go to the postseason. We'll have to go back. Alec, do you think that they have a shot at the postseason?
I think they're not the worst team in the division. I think like Steelers or Ravens could fall below them easily.
Okay.
Even the Bengals, I think it's all up in the air for this division. I don't think there's a clear best team right now.
I agree. I really agree with that. Yeah. I think this could be a really good year for the team. But like I said earlier, there's been 2 seasons now where everybody thought they were going to, 2 years ago, they had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. And they thought, okay, we're going to do what we did in 2020. And that season plopped. Last year, again, it was just continuing struggles. The defense, we have a new defensive coordinator in Jim Schwartz, and the team seems to be more motivated with the defensive players. So that'll be good. Hey, I want to give a shout out. I've been doing this on my other shows with, we started our new Browns Rockin' show, and Matt back there, he came up with a little ditty, and want to give props to Matt with that little ditty. He's also done the Johnny Cleveland show that you hear and at the intro and the exit. So again, thank you. Grandpa Suchan was unaware, Matt, that you were such a fine musician. He had no idea. I said, well, yeah, Matt's, pretty good musician. He's got a guitar. He's like, oh, I had no idea. He had no idea, Matt. So there you are.
Oh, no.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming on our show. This was a lot of fun. Again,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Johnny Cleveland.
I learned a lot.
Thank you for valuing our opinions on the Cleveland Browns.
well, you're very welcome.
I think Mariah's were the most valuable of anyone.
Here should get a free beer or free Seattle dog or something at the end of the season. We'll have to revisit these predictions and
whoever was the most wrong gets a beer bath.
Beer. That's right. Well, thanks for joining us on the Johnny Cleveland podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network and Fans First Sports Network. By the way, Laura and I were discussing purchasing, that's right, Fanatical Elves Network t-shirts and sweatshirts for all of you for Christmas. I'm surprised. Aren't you excited? Do you remember when we gave you those Johnny Cleveland podcast shirts?
Yeah. We love Fanatical Elves Network and Pittsburgh.
No, you don't. Oh, Lord. Well, these were my children. Thanks for joining the show, children. Well, they're almost like all my children. Yeah, and we're leaving out Kara and Clay. And actually, Clay is up there with Alec, and Kara is somewhere. I'm not sure where she's traveled to this weekend. But hello, Kara, and hello, Clay. We'll have you on next time. We'll have a big family gathering. Maybe we'll do something at Thanksgiving or Christmas. I think a couple of these folks are coming in at Thanksgiving, and we'll do another special show of the Johnny Cleveland podcast where we'll talk festive times, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So guys, thanks again. Adish, always nice to see you, and take care, everybody. You guys hang tight there on the show. We're going to end this by saying go Browns, and remember to keep
smiling.
Go Browns!